munitions to grab it. But the visual of it, to me, looked neat. And I don't remember what it looked like in 3D, but I think that might have looked pretty cool. So that's my number 3.
Yeah. My number 3 is Celine fighting her outfit at the beginning of the movie. I thought this was really, really funny and way over the top. She wakes up, she's like, oh, there's my corset and boots, right? Like in the corner.
In a refrigerator?
I was just like, there they are. I was like, okay, this is the type of movie we're watching, huh?
She just looks, there it is. But you know what? They have no time for anything in this movie, so I kind of like the efficiency in storytelling for sure. I guess for me, I got to go with when she T-bones the van, because that's T-1000, that's T-800 stuff right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Are we supposed to understand that she is a relatively old vampire? She's like 600 something years old. And she drank the blood of the eldest Corvinus, which gave her more strength.
It's like drinking a triple shot of espresso in the morning. You know what I mean? And then typing. You're just like, ah! So she has his blood in her, and she can just dominate everything.
Does this movie sort of, in a weird way, presuppose that if a vampire drinks your blood, they gain some of your ability?
Yeah, I guess so.
What ability would they gain from me? Like my encyclopedic knowledge of bad films?
Celine just loves Deep Blue Sea all of a sudden.
Michael, we gotta watch Deep Blue Sea.
We're being
not
chased.
Again, Celine, not again.
Eve is like,
okay, I was just making sure I understood what was going on there, because she was significantly more powered up in this. Stronger, but also she could walk in the daylight, apparently. And I don't really understand where that came from, but okay.
Let's see. Who's up? You? Me?
Yeah. My number 2, gore. I love the ramp up in action and gore. It is really, really solid. It's well paced, well structured, which is good because it's 80 minutes of the movie. But great. Maybe could have used one sword fight in there, but it's okay. We've seen a bunch of those in the last movie.
Yeah, there's no sword fighting.
No, they have the whip fight. There's a whip fight, and then David has some weird silver weapons that I don't look there like they were designed by anyone who knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah, that's funny. All right, my number 1 is just werewolf scientist. Like I felt now Stephen Ray is clearly the villain in this movie, but I like that these werewolves, they're almost extinct, and they found a way to work in the middle of everywhere. In front of the world, and try to become like, all they want to do is to be impervious to silver so that they won't get wiped out by humans. Like that's not a bad, like that's like if Star Wars, if I don't know, a Jedi just started murdering all the rebels, like a Jedi, you know what I mean? Like it's just they're the underdogs. Gosh, underdogs. But I don't know. It's just I like werewolf scientists.
I think what we're really tap dancing around here is that there's a better film in this film. There are better concepts in this film that they went with. So it's like, you made the werewolves evil, but they're more misguided than evil, because they're trying to stop their race from being exterminated. And they found a solution to do that. And it just happens that they need to, I guess, harvest Eve's. I actually don't know what they were harvesting, because I couldn't tell.
What do you think about Eve's look in this movie?
I didn't like it. She looked more like a banshee than like a hybrid. I do dig Michael's all black look more. I guess in this case she would be 1/4 hybrid. She's not a full hybrid
because he's half and half.
Yeah. So she's like not a full hybrid. It's like a strain, like a weird
Michael strain. That's funny. So I like it more now, because you don't even know what she is.
Yeah, she's some type of hybrid. But what I think would be interesting is, like, if you made the werewolves more sympathetic, we're trying to protect ourselves, and then the end of the movie is them coming together against the humans. I think that would have been a really cool thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been cool, right? It would have been pretty neat. But still, we can't complain about an 80-minute movie that's nothing but violence.
No, not at all. What is your number 2?
Oh, wait! I thought I did 5 already. I'll do more. There's a werewolf clothesline in this movie when they attack the coven, A werewolf clotheslines a guy. So a vampire turns around and runs. A werewolf puts out its arm. The guy runs right into its arm and clotheslines himself. It's beautiful. A werewolf is clotheslined. It's
Nice.
glorious, and it makes me so happy.
My last one, my final one, is shooting the elevator, which I think is a great callback to the first film. And just describe it for anyone who hasn't seen this movie. I don't know who would listen to this podcast without seeing this movie, though. Selena's trapped at the end of an elevator shaft, and an elevator is coming towards her, and so she shoots up into the floor of the elevator in order to basically weaken it so it falls around her. And it's a great callback to the first movie in which he shoots through the ground, a circle around her, so it falls through and she falls to a different floor. Really excellent. Love that scene. It was actually one of the moments when I was like, oh, there is something interesting happening here.
It's my number one, too, because the bottom keeps it from, like, the bottom, that little pole there that keeps it from going all the way to the bottom knocks it out. She's able to sit right next to it and survive. It's cool. Yep. Like, that's cool. That's my number one, too. What a great moment.
Yeah. And what I recently rediscovered, and this is taking it back all the way back to our first Underworld movie, Demolition Man did the shoot through the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
In, like, 95. So like I forgot all about that, and I was like, oh man, Underworld really ripped them off hard.
I mean, you steal from the best. That's what everyone says, right?
Is Judge Dredd the best?
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, I just rewatched that movie. It's not as bad as Rotten Tomatoes would have you think, but it's certainly not a good movie.
No, it misses a lot of the points, but they're still fun to be had. Like the costumes and all that. Oh, it's beautiful. Hey, so how about this? Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we have some fun games to do, and we'll talk more Underworld Awakening. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I just got to say, David, before we get into our game portion of our episode, if you're working at a laboratory and you are a scientist and you learn that they have been, I don't know, making fraudulent results or testing on werewolves, don't run into the main office and accuse everybody in front of everybody because you're going to die. What you should do is... Like, because of the lady in this movie, she just gets wiped, like, off the face of the earth. The doctor, when she comes in here, and pretty big name, too, but Sandrine Holt, I think, is the actress who plays Lita. Is that her?
I'm not sure, but this movie does have a lot of big names in it, including Wes Bentley, who had a two scenes before he was murdered.
She drops him.
Yeah.
She drops him.
I was shocked that happened, because I was like, he's a pretty big name to, like, to be in this for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and uncredited, which is weird. But yeah, just never do that. What you should do, David, is just go about your day, eat some lunch. Hey, does anybody want some like smoothies? I'm gonna go get a smoothie. People are like, yeah, I want a smoothie. Like, yeah, I'll get a smoothie. Yeah, what do you want? All right, cool. It's on me. And then just get in your car, be like, I'll get some smoothies, and then just drive away. Just don't come back.
Nope.
And then
later.
And then like an hour later, they're like, where is she? Like, what happened? Like, where'd she go? And then you're gone. You're in Texas. So just get out.
Why is that character even in the movie? Like, I think psychologically, like, we want to show that not all humans are bad, but she has no point. Like, it's not like Eve comes back and be like, don't kill her, Mom. She helped me. And, like, she just dies. Like, what?
Well, I mean, she was killed in Resident Evil Apocalypse, right? So maybe she died in that franchise. So then she's like, well, I want to get wiped out in another franchise. And then she goes and signs up for Underworld to get wiped out.
Great work if you can get it.
I think she was in Terminator Genesis. I wonder if she got shot in that too. So now she's in a bunch of interesting franchises where she gets wiped out.
What is the trifecta, the home run of getting killed by monsters in monster movies? Like vampire, werewolf, zombie, what?
I think Sam Jackson, genetically modified sharks, King Kong, and velociraptors. But if you, like, I know Lance Hendrickson has been killed by a predator, a Terminator, and an alien. So that's impressive. I mean, you could do the vampire, werewolf, and mummy route. That could be interesting. But for me, well, Lance Hendrickson's been killed in 3 Yeti movies, too. So that's mine. I want to be killed in 3 direct-to-DVD Yeti movies, Sasquatch movies.
Yeah, I mean, if I was an actor, I would have definitely be killed by a vampire, a werewolf, a zombie, and if I had to do a 4th one, I would want some type of like wizard, sorceress, or mage or something.
Okay, I got it. I'm not monsters though, but these are 3 death scenes I want as an extra, like a zombie movie. Because think about all the epic zombie kills in movies, like in Dawn of the Dead, the mall attack. Next, I want to be an X-wing pilot in a Star Wars movie that has one line, like they're on my tail, kaboom, and then I have a book written about me because I'm in a Star Wars movie. And then...
It's so true though. It's so true. Everything about Star Wars is like this one character has a 19-part backstory. They're actually really epic, but they died in 1 second on screen.
I want to be in the MCU, and I want to be one of the most minor, like Suicide Squad, but MCU, like a minor character who works for like that, like somebody, and I somehow have a power, and then somehow there's like a big fight scene, and I kind of hold my own, and then I die, and then people are like, "Who was that? Was that like, the Elastic Man?" Like, I want to be in that world. Like, who was that? Like 10 things you need to know about the cameo, like Easter eggs. Like, I would be an Easter egg. Like, that's a guy from episode 463 of Thor, the Almighty Thunder God. Like, that's what I want.
Excellent. I'm glad we cleared this up. All right, I have a game for you.
Okay.
And basically it's called Would Celine Make This Sequel Better? And so what I did is I found the 4th movie in franchises. And you're going to have to tell me, would adding Celine the character make this film better? And why?
Okay.
All right. Number 1, Jaws the Revenge.
Wow. Okay, so let's see. It's about no, because Jaws the Revenge is about a private detective shark who has a link to the Brody family that sets a trap and kills a Brody, swims all the way to the Bahamas, and has a psychic link with Mrs. Brody. So I don't see how the inclusion of Celine could make this movie better.
I mean, I think it would make it better because she would understand the shark a little bit more as they're both alpha predators.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like maybe they hire Celine to help.
Could you hiring a vampire to kill a shark?
Yeah,
it seems like massive overkill. Have
like
you
a
seen
noir.
The shark, Celine?
They walk into a black and white office, and just like then they put her in scuba gear, and she goes and hunts the shark.
I can't wait to make this movie. Like hiring a shark or a werewolf to fight, or hiring a vampire or werewolf to fight a shark. It's like so dumb that I love it.
A shark that can set traps and roar.
Oh, okay. So we're split on that one. We're split, and that's okay. I do like Jaws of Revenge, by the way, so that's a good one. Pirates of the Caribbean on Strange Tides.
Absolutely, because that's the worst of all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, by far, by a country mile, by 8 country miles. So if you already have Blackbeard, Blackbeard, you have skeletons, you have Krakens, Davy Jones, you could have vampires in this world. And if she plays a vampire that somehow, and she can daywalk at this point, she teams up with Jack Sparrow to fight mermaids, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah, I would love Celine with a bunch of single shot pistols and a blunderbuss. Like
be her,
that would be
Van
a
Helsing.
lot of fun. Yeah, we're basically describing Van Helsing. You're absolutely right. Okay, I agree. I think she would make it much, much better. Yeah. I honestly do not remember that movie very well, and I just needed a 4th movie, so that would work.
I'm a huge Penelope Cruz fan. Like she deserved her Oscar that she won for Vicky Cristina Barcelona. I think she is a wonderful actor, but in that movie, her character did not fit. So maybe if they just, they took away the whole. Jack Sparrow should never have a love interest in a movie, so it just gave him like a vampire that he's up against or something. I don't know. That's what would work. If Blackbeard was a vampire, Ian McShane. Woo-wee.
Okay. Number 3, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home.
Is that the one with the whales?
I believe so, yes.
Normally when I see it, I just don't see it. I don't know how she could be. Let me type in Star Trek.
They would have to travel back in time and then run into her. I don't think she would be on the crew.
Like, I just
She's
don't.
protecting the whale.
I just don't